Oh, hello there. Hi there. Hey, how's it going? What's going on? And all that good stuff. It is I, Nate Jackson, Criterion Collection Reviewer Guy person, here to wrap up this season. Now that we have finally got all 200 done, I thought I'd go back and give you the facts, man. Just the facts. This will be a really quick one. Compared to our last one, there's not much to talk about, really. But then again, maybe I'll have more to say. I was trying to look back at how I took notes for my first one, and I was trying to just give you what couldn't remember what I did, but yeah, let's just go over the languages. Most popular language is still English. 42. I counted 42 entries that used English as their language. And these languages I count when the movie goes in English for like a significant time, such as Contempt. You know, it's mostly in French, but there's also English when I think Fritz Lang talks and the other guy. But yeah, so 42 for English. The second most popular is French, 27, and then I think the third is that's a 4. No, second. Well, there's a 3-way tie for third, which is Swedish, Japanese, and Italian. All I counted 6 movies, and for Swedish, I'm counting Haxen, even though it's silent. The subtitles are in Swedish, so we'll count Haxen as part of the Swedish thing. But I also count it as part of the silent ones. And I consider the only other silent one, there's 2. I'm considering Haxen, and I'm considering the bi-brackage thing. Oh gosh, what else? Only 6 Japanese, 4 German, 4 Czech, 4 Danish, 3 Russian, 1 Slovak, 2, and then 1 Cantonese and Shanghaiese, which was In the Mood for Love. And what else? The longest entry that I'm considering the longest movies we've had is probably bi-brackage and anthology. If you split them up, of course they're not the longest, but altogether, bi-brackage and anthology is 243 minutes. But that's of course if you keep them all together, which Criterion does on the back of the DVD. But the longest movie, technically the longest feature we've had, is Spartacus which is 196 minutes. Second being Children of Paradise, third being Redbeard. Shortest, Night and Fog, being 31 minutes, unless you count Shake live at Otis at Monterey, which is only 19 minutes. But yeah, that's, like I said, the lines blur. It depends on how you want to look at it. But technically, technically that one DVD, that spine number, constitutes both Jimmy's live at Monterey set as well as Otis's live at Monterey set. So, which Jimmy's is 49 and Shake is 19, but still, that's even together, that's still one of the shortest. But Night and Fog is technically the shortest, and then of course the Fireman's Ball is probably one of the other shorter ones, which only 73 minutes. What else did I take notes on? 18, as of this recording of this video, there's only 18 out-of-print movies. I think there are quite a few more in the first season, the first 100 that are out-of-print compared to this one. I don't know, yeah, I counted this. It's actually a pretty good, split between good movies and bad movies that are out of print. I've often commented on, why is this movie out of print, versus, I'm glad, well, at least this movie's out of print, But it's kind of a toss-up between the two. There's some good ones that are out of print, like Spellbound, Notorious, and then there's some bad ones that are out of print, like Contempt and Rebecca. Well, Rebecca wasn't bad. Anyway, I'm trying not to speculate on those movies again, but anyway, other facts. Our earliest movie this season was Haxen at 1922. The second and third place were actually both our René Clair features, the Under the Roofs of Paris from 1930 and A Nous la Liberté from 1931. The earliest being, and then our latest movie from 2001 was The Royal Tenenbaums. And then from 2000, there were actually 3 movies that came out in 2000, In the Mood for Love, Traffic, and George Washington. I didn't have, I know I figured it out earlier, the dates, but that's honestly that doesn't matter, you know. They all came out 2000, so we'll just leave it at that. And yeah, so that's all I wrote down, but let's just talk about what we've seen so far. I mean, our first movie was Cries and Whispers. And of course, starting off with the Bergman is a great way to start off a Criterion marathon of sorts, 7-month marathon of sorts. It started off with Bergman. Oh yay! And and then we had Discreet Charm of the Bourgeoisie, Lady Eve, and yeah, it just went on from there. And I think Double Suicide, Spartacus. It's a lot of dark movies, a couple comedies. It was very tried to bounce between the two. What else? Some other features. We had the Alfred Hitchcock trilogy, which was cool. Sadly, all 3 of those are out of print, as I mentioned earlier. There's some other highlights were the Monterey Pop Festival. That was a great one. Really enjoyed that. And some other ones. I'm trying to think of what else could we talk about. We had some pretty cool, some pretty low key Kurosawa films. I think we only had, and that was the other thing that I was going to mention. I think our most prolific producer this season. I think last season I took notes of it, and I should have did it this season. I think that Kurosawa had 4. Yeah, Kurosawa had 4 last year, and Cocteau had 4. I think Kurosawa only had Throne of Blood, Rashomon. He had 4, I think. Yeah, Throne of Blood, Rashomon, Redbeard, and Hidden Fortress. I think were the 4 Kurosawa films we had. Fellini, 8.5, had 8.5. White Sheik, and I think that was it. I'm probably missing one, but. And then Godard, I know, had 3. I know he had, Godard had 8.5. No, not 8. That was Fellini. Had Band of Outsiders, Contempt, and might have had another one. I can't remember. Maybe it was only those 2. But yeah, so as far as a prolific, I think Kurosawa actually was still the most prolific director, if I am not mistaken. I can't think of anybody else. Bergman only had, I think Bergman only had 2 films. I think only had Cries and Whispers and Wild Strawberries, so he's not in the running. And yeah, that's about it. I mean, technically, Brakhage, if you count all of Brakhage's films separately, he's the most prolific with 25 films, but yeah, so I think that's all I can talk about. As far as themes are concerned, I've mentioned time and time again, there are a lot of coming of age theme movies. A lot of movies like starring much younger actors, such as George Washington, Ratcatcher, My Life as a Dog. I can't think of any others. There's I think there are quite a few. Having a hard time thinking of those. And then the more I'm thinking of like the really younger, like such as those movies with the young boys and all that. But there are others like Closely Watched Trains, Loves of a Blonde, and even those Russian wartime movies we had, like The Cranes Are Flying and Ballad of a Soldier. They're technically not coming of age movies, but they could be interpreted as coming of age movies. So you can look at it like that. What else? What else did we see this season? We just saw a lot of great movies. Not too many like horrendous movies. There are some really bad ones, and you've heard me mention them, time and time again here. Shoot, one or more. But yeah, that's I think we'll leave it at that. Season was, I think, probably a little more grueling. It was a little harder to, find time to get through all this season compared to last season. This season, for some reason, felt like a lot more work to watch these movies. they were very they're a lot more, I don't know how to describe it. It took a lot longer to get through these 100 movies or spy numbers than the first 100 spy numbers. And even though I took longer, I don't know. That's all I can. That's the only way I can describe it. So yeah, so we're gonna leave it there. I hope you enjoyed this little wrap up. If you have any comments or questions, please leave me comments or all that. If I've missed something, we can discuss it. I'd be more than happy to have a discussion with you in the comments. And yeah, so all that's left now is to showcase off my top 28, which I will be doing. You probably won't see me tomorrow. I've still got a little bit more to film, just a couple more videos, but we probably won't have those done until tomorrow. So hang tight. But you might see me tonight, I'm not sure. And yeah, so that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Yeah, once again, if there's anything else I've missed that I maybe talked about in my first one, feel free to comment and I'll try to answer questions and all that. So anyway, thank you for watching, and we will see you by tomorrow, sometime tomorrow, today or tonight or tomorrow, for the season finale, the Criterion Collection Showdown. Top 28 greatest films. Greatest films. That's greater plus est at the end. Greaterest. Greatest. That's how I'm calling it. And until then, goodbye.